know that atheists will say, well, no, nothing created everything, but that isn't necessarily logical or rational, and I'll tell you why. Because if something is created, it first has to have a cause. And just as a gun with the trigger, it won't shoot by itself. Someone needs to be behind the trigger to pull it in order for it to shoot. The same way someone needs to be behind the trigger to pull so the bullet can come out is the same way that this universe was pulled out of the spiritual realm and birthed into the natural by God. God pulled the trigger and he created everything that you see today. And he said in the beginning that it was good. But you want to know what happened to God's good creation? You want to know what happened in terms of why there's so much murder and violence and lewdness and all types of nasty things on the streets and inside of the homes? It's because we've sinned against God. We broke God's commandments, we trespassed against his law, and we chose to do things that we wanted to do rather than what God wants to do. And because of that, wrath and judgment came upon the earth and death followed. You see, so many people today are suffering and they don't know why. They say, how come people are sick? How come babies are dying? How come countries and nations are going to war and innocent people, their lives are being taken? The answer is sin. We've sinned against God, and sin brought forth many consequences that we all rightly deserve. You see, God didn't create us to sin. He created us to live in fellowship and harmony with him. When you wake up and start your day with God, when you start to read the Bible, you start to pray, that's an example of how God intended for you to be. That's how he wants your relationship to be. But when we wake up and we grab our phones and we scroll for hours and hours and hours, we wake up at 8, but we don't get out of bed till 11 because we were all on social media and other people's business. God didn't create us to be that way. God created us to be productive. God created us to seek him first in his kingdom so that all things may be added unto us. Even scientifically, it's proven that the first 20 minutes of your day can determine the rest of the outcome. The rest